I just realized a flaw in my plan. Be right back. That's sort of what I was going for there, Aiden. Uh, Purposefully sad. I was sort of inspired by the fact that Out of Darts did a mod party this weekend, and I was looking and seeing all those people having fun and everything, and I was wanting to do a little bit of work tonight, and I had some fun last Saturday, not this past Saturday, but the one before. Uh, had some fun uh, having some viewers while I was working. So Out of Darts had a few more people there. It wasn't a whole lot more than 10, but there was a good number there. I realized a flaw in my plan with the way that I had this set up. I am using my cell phone for a sort of a primary camera to highlight my workspace a little bit, and that's how I share stuff out a lot of times. Um, I've got a bag from Foam Blast here in front of me, and I'm going to show some of the stuff that's in it, and talk about that just a little bit, and then I may do some soldering, and then I've got some 3D printed parts that I need to clean up and some things like that. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that tonight. All right. But first thing I want to talk about, like I said, I've got a package from Foam Blast here. And I guess from the size of these boxes, you might be able to guess what they are. One thing, I got me a Bobo patch. It be repping Bobo Lolo Lolo. Yeah, I need to get down to Atlanta really badly. It's about a 4-hour drive for me, but I'd like to get down and play some SENC games and get connected down there and sort of talk to some people, because I would like to start a group where I'm at here in Tennessee, and the SENC is the closest big thing that I've got. Uh, so I need to make some connections and talk to some people down there and kind of figure out, rule sets and things like that, because I want to basically what I want to do is sort of have a SENC affiliate here, kind of like what they have in South Alabama, because I know they kind of work with y'all a bit on some stuff. They come up to some of y'all's games and stuff, and then like Chicken and I think maybe Drac and a few of them helped get stuff started in South Alabama. But the one thing I'm wanting to talk about is I have here one of the, uh, I guess, one of the more hated blasters currently going right now. A lot of people have a lot of complaints about it. I kind of enjoy mine. I've not used it a lot. It's pretty nice. Got a Python buffer tube stock. For me, this is the money. I got this one off of eBay, but then I saw where Out of Darts has it on his website. That Python stock uh, works pretty well for me. But of course, we've got the Katana mag. If I can get that in there properly. And didn't mean to do that. Got that going on, and the Katana mag is it's a pretty good system. I know a lot of people have a lot of complaints about it, especially with it being kind of hard to get right now. But I purchased Friday from Foam Blast the worker equivalent. Is Chicken not making it to the games much anymore? I mean, I hadn't seen a whole lot out of him. I know you've been taking quite a few of the pictures there for him. Because Chicken was really kind of the one I was interested in talking to, because he had some, he seemed to have a lot to do with actually kind of getting things started and running things and stuff. I know it's Drac's baby down there, but Chicken seemed to have a lot to do with the administration of things, the SCNC, and he was really the main one I'd wanted to talk to. Okay, so that fit in there rather nicely. Yeah, I like the katanas. I don't have just a whole lot of them. I bought a few to start with, and I was looking at printing some Vorpals, and I probably will pretty soon. But I thought I'd give these a try, especially since Foam Blast had them and had them on sale. Yeah, Atomic is something I'd like to check out. I mean, I watched TK's stuff. I kind of like how those work. Well, I said, and say I just printed the other day an expanded piece, or a flared magwell piece for my katana adapter. I've not put it on yet, but that's not terribly bad. Grab a handful of darts here. A couple of more of the orange ones. That's the only problem that I have with these mags over the katanas is these you can load backwards because they're one directional. Okay. Oop. Let's had some. I think those are sweet oranges, whatever those are. Had some of those in there, and then had some worker yellows. I like how that falls free. That's not a bad system. I don't know. Just gonna have to see how everything goes and how everybody adjusts to those. Yeah, that's one of those things that you kind of got to watch for. The one thing I wish I had my retaliator functioning properly. I need to take it apart and fiddle with it a little bit. I've got a retaliator with an artifact kit, and that's everybody mentioned that these work with worker breaches and omni breaches and brass breaches and all of that stuff, but nobody has mentioned artifact breaches yet. And I've got an artifact retaliator, and I've got a long shot kit that's artifact that I'm wanting to try and see how that goes. I've bought that artifact kit 2 or 3 years ago now, and I've not done anything with it. I've got a Exus shell sitting there waiting for it. But nothing to do yet. Or I haven't done it yet, I should say. But I kind of like those the new worker talons. I hope the market stays decent with them. And then here I've got a couple of motors to replace. Some I'm planning on doing some Hyperfire and Rapid Strike modding soon. And I'd used a couple of Krakens to put together the cage for my Foxfire. So I've got a couple of replacement Krakens here. Man, I hate that secondary camera is lagging like that. And then I should have got 3 because I put a Kraken in my gearbox. Hopefully that gearbox doesn't fly apart or do anything stupid. But good. I had to super glue the little gear piece on the Kraken. Yeah, that's an issue with the Talons. I'm going to have to. Which the thing is, if you get used to the mag release on a specific blaster, and then you switch it over to use half dart mags, then you're going to hit that mag release instead of, like, even with the katana, you're going to hit your other mag release instead of that. As I drop that adapter. So, like, the one thing I like about the katanas is you could load them however you wanted to. Either way would be front as long as you face the darts forward. I know that's not a terrible inconvenience with the Talons, but it's just different. I've got a bowl full of odds and ends here as I have 3D printed stuff and just kind of accumulated some things. Printed off a strife cage. I think I did the 42.5. That's a 43 OSP flywheel cage. I love these muzzle pieces for the Foxfire. Like that's for the bigger one. For the piece that I have here, the P front, as it's called, it has the shorter muzzle like that. And then with the cage, you take and you set your cage in there. It took me a while to get kind of figured out what was going on with the cage setup, which I may have it backwards again. Surely this, no. I may have to trim a little bit there on this housing. But yeah, I'm gonna have to trim that housing a little bit to get everything to line up properly. Yeah, I've got that bowl of 3D printed goodness there. Got a few switches. I got rails, got pusher pieces. Let's see. There's the standard pusher for it. I've got some prints that I need to clean up to get that going. And then, of course, there's the mag holder piece. And there's the full-size magazine housing. And there's the semi-auto housing and grip. I need to take those apart and clean up the prints a little bit more. And then there's the top part for the full auto. We'll see you, Aiden. Have a good one. Okay, it's showing I've got 2 though. Aiden said he was leaving. Hey, it's Shade. Not exactly. I'm kind of doing some full auto stuff, but not exactly just yet. I've just got the parts to put it together. I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning on some 3D printed stuff here in a little bit. The main one that I'm wanting to get up and going right now is the semi-auto deal. This is the Foxfire blaster. I don't know if you're familiar with that one or not. I know you do mostly NIC caliber spring and air powered stuff. I'm trying my hand at a little bit of everything, see what kind of takes. I like springs, I like air. I wish I was any good at flywheels. But gentleman by the name of Impact 498 or 498 Nerf, he designed this, the Foxfire. It's a modular blaster system, and no, I'm not anywhere near HPA just yet. I'd like to be at some point, but not yet. But this is the main housing for the semi-auto piece with the grip and everything, and then you have hey, it's Biggs. I'll flip this over this way, but he designed it to connect with these hook pieces, and like I said, I've got some prints to clean up here, but that hooks and yeah, it's Foxfire. I've got some prints that I need to clean up. I'm going to be doing here in a minute, but first I'm probably going to do a little bit of soldering, best I can do anyway, just getting my cage ready. But then this is an additional mag holder that goes on the mag housing here, and this will hold a whole other mag next to it, and it's got a mag release just like the main piece does. And then this is what he refers to as the P housing. That's the smaller housing that goes on the front there. And then here's the little barrel insert that he's designed. If I were to get a little bit better or get any decency at modeling 3D printed stuff, I would like to do a piece like this that would hold the Katana mag, because he's got the Katana housing, but he doesn't have a one that has the extra mag holder. And then of course these also screw together, but you end up with a blaster that looks sort of like this. I'd love to, Shade. You're a little bit north for me. Biggs got his Jupiter. Yeah, I'd like to have a Jupiter, Biggs. I've come really close. I bought an Esper hardware kit instead, but I came really close to getting a Jupiter. Shade, you have fun at dinner. Came really close to getting a Jupiter. I need a little more practice with my soldering, I think, before I do that. And then I figured I would put this together and see how it went before I went all in on a Jupiter. I was at End War when Luke debuted officially the Jupiter, and I actually ended up for mission 1 at End War. I ended up in a group with Luke from Out of Darts and Ryan from Silver Fox and his wife and Beret. And Luke had the regular Jupiter and he had the Proton Pack Jupiter, and it was unreal, the things that man was able to pull off of that thing. It was really cool to see that. and to see him put it to use. So uh, that was real neat. But yeah, this is I'm starting with the semi-auto uh, piece and the full-size mag housing, and then the P front end. And the sorry about that. Uh, the cage and wheels that it was an amazing group, Biggs. Absolutely amazing. Um, they're all nice people, uh, and they all contribute to the hobby. And it was just so cool to be in that group with them. Uh, and they were great to run with. And then the fact that they were used to playing together, uh, it made it easier for me to kind of pick up on what they were doing and what they were saying, and kind of run with their tactics and such. Uh, so I mean, it was an amazing group to be with. Uh, what I'm going to be running in the P housing is going to be, I've got this worker. I think this is a 43 and a half. I'm pretty sure it's 43 and a half. Group. Yeah, they are very nice people, and Luke is a beautiful man. Uh, that's uh, Had I stayed the full time at End War, my wife might have lost me to him. Uh, Luke's great, and he's got a winning smile. Uh, and that Jupiter was just awesome to see uh, at work. But I've got the Worker 43 and a half millimeter cage. I've got Containment Crew Cyclone wheels, and I'm running some out of dart Krakens. Uh, this this is a pretty good setup, I feel. Should get some uh, pretty awesome numbers out of it. Thought I heard somebody. Uh, but it's like I should get fairly decent results out of this, and hopefully um, it'll stay within 120 130 range